Speaker.
I call Andrew Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is great to be able to talk on this Accident Compensation, Financial Responsibility and Transparency Amendment Bill. It's interesting listening to the debate. It's full of misunderstandings and misinformation in my view. I just want to acknowledge at least that New Zealand First are supporting the proposed bill, and also the Greens for being positive, although there are times I couldn't quite understand what the previous Green speaker was saying, particularly when she made the point that she couldn't understand that ACC was not in fact an insurance scheme. But I think most disappointing of all has been the Labor contribution to date. It shows a significant lack of understanding, and I'm hoping that we're going to get some further input over time. This bill must be seen in the context of an outstanding financial result that has been achieved over the last 6.5 years. And I think credit is due not only to the board, but the management team, the board, of course, led by Paula Rebstock and the CEO, Scott Pickering. They have done an outstanding job of turning this organisation around. Do you know, when this government came to power 6.5 years ago, the state of ACC's accounts was appalling. You know that the Commission reported in the year to June 2008 a deficit of $2.4 billion and had investments or assets of a mere $9.6 billion. Now, with good financial management, in the year to June 2014, ACC reported a surplus, as opposed to a deficit, a surplus of $2.1 billion. That represents a $4.5 billion turnaround in income for the Commission. And not only that, its assets had grown to $27 billion. $27 billion. That is basically a $17 billion increase over the last 6.5 years. And as a result of this performance, the government has already announced some decrease in levies totaling $1.5 billion, made up of some changes to the levies effective 1st of April 2014. First of all, the work account levies have been reduced from $1.15 to 95 cents for every $100 of reliable earnings. In respect of the earners account, a further reduction of 1.4 or $1.48 down to $1.26 for the same $100 of reliable earnings. And in addition to that $1.5 billion, we've more recently announced a further $500 million of savings, with $375 million commencing in the year 2016-17 and a further $120 million in the year thereafter. These are great outcomes, and this is about sharing some of the benefit for all New Zealand businesses and also hard-working New Zealanders. These savings are large, they're significant, and they're welcomed. And what I find most exciting about listening to what ACC is about, during the 2013-14, it had 4 key focuses. First of all, it wanted to reduce road injury and was putting in place a whole range of prevention programs. It was about reducing public injury and again introducing a whole raft of prevention programs around that. Had a specific thing around preventing falls. But fourthly, and probably most importantly to many of us, it was about preventing worksafe injury and working alongside WorkSafe New Zealand. And to do that, it has introduced a whole raft of new investment approaches for injury prevention. This is about ACC designing and implementing more successful programs. And unlike the opposition member from Labor, who is quite incorrect, the level of investment in this area has increased from 22 million the year before to 34 million last year, but that even doesn't even take into account the other investment that has been made alongside organisations such as WorkSafe. But not only is it about the money, which
I'm sorry to interrupt the honourable member. The time has come for me to leave the chair for the dinner break. This debate is interrupted. I shall resume the chair at 7:30.